Okay, so I'm going to show you setup first. This is how I set up my party. So I always have like a place setting for each person. On the place setting, I give them a little note card, a pen, pencil, cotton rounds, and then lip applicators. I also do a beauty book and a mirror at each place setting. I do my Neutrogena soap just like in a bar form, and then I always have a bowl of water on the table. I also do alcohol, witch hazel, and then I have my books. There's lots of different ones. If you guys want the link to this one, I'm thinking I'm going to get mine printed up with the girls with all the colors on her faces. But one thing I do with my books is there's a color out of stock. I put a sticky note over it so they can still look through the book and know what colors are in stock. I also put all my testers on the table in these little cups according to like the color family. So reds, corals, browns, I have them all divided out. And that's how I set up for my party. And when I start a party too, I kind of go through and explain a little bit about SeneGence. A lot of people who go to a party, even if they've heard about lip scents, they don't know what SeneGence is. So I go through and kind of explain a little bit about that, explain about Joni. I always put a beauty book out, and so yes. I kind of talk a few things about the company. I've done a tutorial on that, a video about it. There's certain things that we do with our products that I think most people really want, like the fact that it's manufactured in the US is usually like a really big deal to a lot of people. Sometimes the vegan thing can be important, especially if they are very pro-animal. So there are certain things I always point out. I let them know how long I've been doing it, and I show them the beauty book and tell them that all of the products that we have are in here. Also, the color chart's really nice if you haven't been doing it too long or not very comfortable. It's not super accurate with colors, but it will let you know like if it's cool or warm toned, and then also if it's a matte, a frost, or a shimmer, because sometimes you'll have girls who refuse to wear a shimmer. They'll only wear a matte.
All these little MFS, if anyone didn't know, like that's what those mean, is the frost, shimmer, matte.
So you can look for that and use this as your guide, and I make sure girls leave with this. So that's one of my tips. I love the card idea, especially because girls usually try on really similar colors, and if they have blue, red, crimson red, and like something else really bright on their hand, and then they're asking me which one is which, it would take me a minute, or I'd have to even swatch them on their hand again to make sure I knew. So I like them to put it in order on their hand on their card. I'm a little bit.
You can also do something like that where you just do a little bit of dot, and that way you can see the color, or you can do the selfie or whatever.
I also, I'm not as nice as Ash. I only let them do 2 to 3 colors, because I don't want them.
Some people get a little crazy.
Yes, so I've had ladies try up to 8, and by the time they're done, their lips are so red and so sore and so inflamed that they're not happy by the time they leave. So I am pretty adamant, and I explain why. I explain that we're going to be using the Neutrogena soap, and it is extremely drying. A lot of people use it for acne, and it fixes acne because it dries the skin out. So I explained to them that you're going to be putting that on your lips, and it's going to increase the tingle each time. And so we only want to put 2 to maybe 3 colors on.
And also people are like, oh, why can't I just use this like at home instead of the Oops Remover? And you're like, no, this is actually going to dry out your lips, whereas the Oops Remover is going to moisturize them.
And be very gentle.
Yes. And these are actually just that Neutrogena soap. It's like this.
Yep.
I cut mine up so they can just literally take this, dip it in the water, go like this after their color, wipe it off with a makeup remover wipe, and they're done. We didn't explain this as well.
Oh yeah.
The witch hazel is a vital part, so every time I start a party, I give them a little, I dip it on, do this, tell them to wipe their lips, clean off their lips, because you want that pure bond. If you don't have that pure bond, you're not going to be happy with the product. So
I also make them clean their hands with alcohol before they swatch the colors on the back of their hand. So I have them use the alcohol because they're using the wand for my color on their hand.
Okay, so how I explain how to apply lip scents. I first start out that every color is so different and so unique that you always need to shake it up for a little bit. There's SD40 alcohol in there, which actually creates a bacteria-free environment, which is super great. But even though I still have them only use 1 wand per dip. per gloss, per color, everything. So make sure you're not, even though there is that bacteria-free alcohol, sometimes like mono can spread,
viruses,
or things like that. So you just want to be super cautious of those things with that. So tell them to shake it up. You're gonna do 3 light layers, and you're gonna let them dry about 5 to 10 seconds in between. And I start from one side to the other, and I do the top, and then wait, do it again, but with each time you're gonna do a dip. And then, in order to seal it, it's gonna be a little sticky until then, once you're done with the 3 layers, you're gonna do a gloss. And the gloss is gonna seal it, and that's what's gonna make it feel a little bit better. There might be a little tingle in the meantime, but that is because you probably have a little bit of dry lips, is what I explain to people, and they're not quite used to it. So the gloss is gonna make that feel so much better, and yeah, that's how I kind of explain it. And when they're ready to change colors, I can explain that when they want to. So, oh, and also, so sorry, I tell them first before they try on colors, I have them test on as many colors as they want on their hand and choose like 3 to 5 from those colors. And that's what's so great about this card is they can write down those colors they're trying on, and they can go back, and so it kind of keeps a list for them. And when they try on colors, I actually tell them to take some selfies, like go by the window, go by some light, take a selfie. That way you can go back and like remember what it is that they tried on. So yeah.
All right, we're gonna talk about actual application on your client. Ash kind of went through what she does. Mine is really similar. I have them clean the back of their hand and then swatch colors. And then I go, after they've swatched colors, then I explain how we're going to apply the product. Always, always, always talk about the alcohol in the product because their lips will tingle. I have to like mentally talk myself and remind myself to do that because I don't get any tingling on my lips anymore, and so I forget sometimes. So make sure
until it does go away eventually.
Yes, eventually will go away. You want to talk about why the color bonds to our lips. That will remind you why there's alcohol in it. So after they swatch their hands and they've put all their list on, I have them star 2 to 3. If I have a girl who wants a nude and a red and a berry, I'll let her try on more, but what I usually do is have her do half and half. So I have her
start from light to dark.
Yes. And so I have her do, like, if she's looking at crimson red and blue red, which are both quite similar, I'll have her do either one half of her mouth and the other half or top and bottom, and then she can actually take the card and look in the mirror and see the difference between the two. But I will not let a girl put on 8 colors on her lips. I won't let her do it because she won't be happy by the time she leaves the party. She'll be sore. So after we've swatched the hands and I have a few girls that are ready to actually apply the color, I actually take just a throwaway disposable applicator and I talk to them about it. So I tell them that we're going to dip a new applicator, just like Ash said, every time. You don't want them re-dipping. Yes, this is alcohol. The alcohol is not in there to kill things. It's not rubbing alcohol, which is, I think this one is 91%. This is an SD40. It's only 40% alcohol. It's not meant for that. So I tell them to shake it up really well. You dip the applicator in and let it sit for about 30 seconds. They can usually get 1 to 2 layers from one dip, but I want them to re-dip a new applicator each time. So I talk to them about dipping it, and I also show them how to apply it with the blank applicator, telling them to go in the nice smooth strokes across their lip. And then if there's a small amount of people, I try to remain in control of the colors. I try to dip it for them. If there's too many people to do that, I just really make sure I explain and get it into their heads before I hand colors over. But if there's only 4 or 5 ladies, I dip the colors. I won't let them be in control of it.
Your hands get like this sometimes.
Yes.
You're like,
you have like 7 colors and they're all being dipped. And then you just hand out the colors. Because it's better than having them be in control than also they're re-dipping into the colors that you're using. I forgot to mention, I actually get these. They're in the back office under supplies. It's just the Glossy Gloss sample strips, and I do put one of these on each plate. This is what I use for their glossy gloss. Ash uses an actual gloss. And she just has them use a new applicator each time. I really like these because if they don't purchase a color, or if they don't purchase a color, they can take this home with them and use it on their color for the rest of the night and still see that it's going to last and have a good experience with it. And even if they do purchase it or something, it's just nice to have something that's going to moisturize our lips for the rest of the night.
Okay, so usually when I started, we had all colors in stock. But now, when we have this special situation, we have to be a little bit careful at our parties about recommending colors and what's in stock, what's out of stock. So, in all reality, you do not want to show any colors that are out of stock.
Don't do it.
Obviously, if you're new, you're not going to be able to get them.
Yeah.
So that's okay. But if you have out of stock colors, or say you got raspberry last week and it came in your shipment, but now it's out of stock, you don't want to show it.
Unless you have one
like
in stock.
In your hand to like give to someone.
Yeah.
So, you definitely want to, say someone wants strawberry shortcake. Well, maybe something like plumeria or fuchsia is going to be better for them. You're just want to familiarize yourself with some of those sister colors before you go into your party. That way, maybe someone knows about lip scents and they're just coming to your party to try some more colors and they know about it, where obviously you don't or whatever, but you can recommend those colors.
Yes.
So, I think, what else do I need to say?
So when I have a customer or clients in here, even when we have a few colors like we do right now, or a lot of colors, it can be overwhelming if they don't know about lip scents.
Yes.
They haven't tried it, they don't have a color in mind. You always want to start with, well, what do you wear normally? Because you're going to have a girl who's like, I wear chapstick. And you're going to know that you need to recommend things that are going to be on the neutral side. Or if you have a girl who's like, oh, I wear lipstick all the time, then you might need to narrow in. Do you wear reds all the time? Do you wear berries? Or do you have something overall that you wear mostly? Just so that you can start recommending the correct colors, point them in the right direction. I totally agree with Ash. You need to, even when we don't have things that are out of stock, you still need to recognize what colors are similar. I used to work at Nordstrom's in shoes when I was back before I had kids, and their rule of thumb was even if a lady wants one pair of shoes to try on, you bring out 3 pairs because you might recommend something that they love better. Yes. So I always try to, if they want a red and they are stuck, they want Fly Girl, but we have several, we have Red Cherry and we have Brick in stock, I make sure they look at all of them because they might have heard of Fly Girl, but they don't actually really like it. So make sure that you have some familiarity with the colors. There are some great albums on lip glosses that show cousin colors, sister colors, so go look at those color comparisons and just kind of get that in your brain. It comes with practice. It does take a little while, and I think also wearing the colors yourself helps with that. You can start recognizing which ones are more similar, but do work on that. Do look at the colors. Be able to know, especially with out of stocks, that, okay, this is what I have in stock, this is their closest sister color that's out of stock, so that if someone comes in and says, I want Fly Girl, but is it Brick that's in stock right now?
Yeah, well, Fly Girl is in stock right now.
Oh, that is right, in stock right now. It was out, but you know that Brick is the most similar color to it, so that you can know what to start with recommendations.